Well, hello everyone. I want to welcome you all to the Discovering Your Destiny podcast, where we help the misfits and black sheeps of the world plug into their purpose and activate their greatness by starting a business, a nonprofit organization, or leveling up their career through leadership so that they can live a life of fulfillment while making an influence as well as an income doing something that they love doing. Okay. I'm your host, author, and founder of the School of Purpose Academy, Athena Renee, and I'm so excited that you're here today. Today, we're going to be talking about the 7 inevitable stages of pain that you must go through before you succeed. Originally, I was just thinking about it in the terms of the sacrifice of life for success. And a lot of times, many people, motivational speakers, and some cover it, but I don't think that we really get into it enough because I know for a fact that if we really talked about it on a more transparent level, um, many people wouldn't even dare to try to go for their goals, right? But this is often why God shows you the end result and not the journey, because he knows that if he show you the in between, you probably wouldn't even leave the scene of where you're at right now, right? So today we're going to be talking about that. And just just before we get into the broadcast for today, I first of all want to send a warm welcome out to my first time listeners. And I want to send a shout out to my day one supporters from every single platform. We have done a lot of moving around, but in the last 2 years, we've pretty much came to a place of stability. When you're on an entrepreneur journey as a misfit or a black sheep, I don't care how much money you have in a bank. I don't care what type of plans and degrees you have. Life is going to take you for a ride, and only the strong survive. I truly believe that misfits and black sheep of the family have something deep within them that really qualifies them to be successful, to be trailblazers, and to break generational curses off of their family. Again, if this is your first time here, just to give you a little bit more about myself, I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. I started off bootstrapping by saving up my own money. I didn't have any investors or anything like that, no loans. And I was able to gain multiple celebrity contracts as a freelancer, such as the Housewives of Atlanta franchise, Rock the Runway franchise, as well as one of the top interior designers to A-list celebrities, including many top-of-the-line R&B singers. I would say one of the top 5. Many the designer to many NBA coaches as well as NCAA coaches. I was able to do that without any clout, knowing anybody, a lot of support. And I'm here to share my journey with you because I know that if I was able to scale my business from the ground all the way to 6 figures and to be able to employ up to 10 people at one time, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. All right. And this podcast, and I sometimes call it a talk show because we're going to be having hosts and things like that. I sometimes talk about it, um, like I said, in terms of a talk show, but a lot of times we talk about, strategies and business tips, and it's pretty much all about the journey that I took and how you can take the things that I went through, right? How you can take my life experience and journey and you can use it in your life, but you can tweak it to your specific scenario. We're going to talk about a lot of universal laws that work because a lot of times, you know, people try to make a lot of different things very complicated And I truly believe that life is complicated enough. You don't need a lot of extra things in your life that's going to be complicated. And so what I like to do is break it down for you so that you'll know exactly what's going on with a very clear or very transparent level of communication. Um, so that you can take it and, like I said, you can tailor it to your specific scenario. Because when we're talking about success, it does not matter if you want to start a business, a nonprofit organization, or if you simply want to level up in your career through leadership. Because I've done all three and I've used the same universal principles that we're going to be discovering and talking about on this show. Okay. I also want to share some news with you. I'm just so excited and happy that I literally just finished my last book. It will be dropping November 17th. I'm super excited about that. It is called 33 Degrees of Misfit Mastery. 33 degrees to level up and lead from any seat. Okay. And this book is going to be very profound. It is not some 25-page low content book. It is really gives you, it really breaks it down, many things that a lot of people don't tell you, right? When you are a misfit and you're trying to level up. See, a lot of misfits, they have so much trouble in the beginning, they don't realize that that's an indicator that they're meant to build something big and special, right? And so a lot of them, when they experience that early on life pain, they drop out the game of wanting to be more, and they settle for the product of for being a product of their environment. You see it all over the news, everywhere you go, no matter what city, no matter what country, right? Because you always have these examples of people that have came from worse than where you came from, that didn't have as many opportunities, but they still use that pain as a catalyst for change, right? And this book covers many things in that scenario. And again, this is why we're going to be talking about the 7 stages of pain, because this particular book, it is actually 400 pages, but it's 400 pages because, so don't get turned away because I say 400 pages. It's 400 pages because I print all of my books in a 14 font. I don't want you to have to squinch when you're reading the book. But I just want you to understand that I finished this book through a lot of different things, and today I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you. But I'm saying all that to say, guys, we only get one life. We get one life. We don't get any do-overs. We don't. We don't. We don't. We don't. And I really want you as a misfit, if you resonate with being a misfit, if you resonate with being a black sheep of the family, I want you to understand that there's a message in you. There's a message that's attached to your mission. And not only that, you will be able to monetize from that message in your mission. But it's all up to you to push it, to get that message out. Now, everybody's not interested in writing a book, even though I truly believe that writing a book is so liberating. It's one of the best forms and ways to get your story out, right? But again, you could do audio, you can do podcasting, you can do YouTubing, you can do articles, you can do a blog, right? So don't get caught up in the method. I just want you to get caught up in your message and your mission. And today, like I said, I'm coming to you today with a message of completion, right? Because a lot of times as a misfit, we know we're talented, we know we're gifted, we feel it, right? But again, number one, we might get caught up in the trials and tribulations of being a misfit. But number two, sometimes we're multi-talented, or sometimes we're so overwhelmed, we end up with a lot of unfinished projects, a lot of half-done things. And again, I'm speaking from experience, okay? But when I started to look around, especially after COVID-19, we all took a lot of losses in COVID-19, you know. But I started to look around and say, you know what? Any day could be my day, but I don't want to get up out of here and have a lot of half done things. When I put my hand to it, I want to complete it. So I'm just so proud today and honored to come on this recording to talk to you about the 7 stages of pain that you must go through. They're inevitable before you hit success, right? On any level, right? I'm not talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about even if you wanted to lose 25 pounds, right? You may not have to go through every single 7, you may not have to go through every stage, but guess what? More than likely, you're going to see all of them in some form or fashion throughout your life when you're trying to upgrade on any level, okay? And the people that we revere and we look up to, those are simply people that decided to push past the pain, all right? I'm coming to you today in it's crazy because success is so mysterious to me. That's the only word I can think about it. I can think of it right now to describe it. And I'm saying it's mysterious and then it's bittersweet. Why? Because it feels so good when you accomplish something that you were set out and meant to do. Right? But when we talk about these stages that you go through before you get to it, it's like, wow, you know, this is why, family, this is why it is very crucial that you do not, number one, never compete with anybody. Don't worry about competing and comparing. Do not get involved in competing and comparing your life journey to anybody. I always tell my clients, if you pick up on a spirit of competition with anybody you're dealing with, cut them off. Cut them off. If you can't cut them off, deal with them with a long handled spoon, right? Because here's the deal. Nobody can escape the process. No one can escape the process of success. I have met so many people on my journey. And here's the thing. Some might say, well, why did I decide to start a business for misfits and black sheep coaching? Well, first of all, misfits and black sheeps, it is so profound and it is so unique to the point where you can be in a room full of people that look just like you and you can still be the misfit. Black sheeps of the family. You around everybody that got the same last name as you. That you kin folks. You related by blood, right? But guess what? You still stick out like a sore thumb. So what am I getting at? What I want you to understand is when you resonate with the misfit or the black sheep, it surpasses any racial or gender class. Right now, we're in a time where people want to make everything about race and gender and just, it's this group fault, it's this group fault. Listen, when you a misfit or a black sheep of the family, you don't even have the luxury to be offended by that stuff. Why? Because you already know you can be in the room with all women and you can be the misfit. You can be in the room with all black folks, and if you black, you can be a misfit. You can be in a room with all white folks or Latinos and still be the misfit. Your neighborhood could have the same, everybody could be in there. 85% could look just like you, could have your same ethnic background. Guess what? You are the misfit, right? And when you really start to embrace it, you will say to yourself, you know what? I'm just trying to get to the next level. I don't have time to think about race and gender because you have already experienced how it feels to be an outsider, even when you should be an insider, even when you look like everybody around you. This is why my mission is so profound, because as misfits and black sheeps, we have work to do. We have a mission. And for so long, we really didn't have a safe place. Everybody's clicking up, all the women clicking up. You got the feminists, you got the gay people clicking up, right? You got the Latinos clicking up, you got the black folks clicking up, you got the white people clicking up, you got the left people clicking up, you got the right people clicking up. Well, guess what? Where is a safe space for the misfits where we can come together and just feel safe and be able to express our feelings and our dark, deep, dark secrets as we go on our journey? Where, right? This is the place. Okay. So we're going to get into this training today. Grab pen and paper. So if you hear something on this message tonight, hey, listen, consider subscribing to the channel. Like the video. I promise you, we got so much content coming. I have recordings I haven't even dropped yet. We're getting the website up to par. You'll see the book landing page coming soon. We have graphic design packages that's completely complimentary for you, just for listening. So trust me, subscribing, consider joining the community is going to be something that's going to work for you in the long run. Because I promise you, we got some great things coming, original content, and things that will really help you change your life without spending a dime, right? Everything is not about having a master class. Do we have master classes? Of course we do. We got all type of courses for you, right? I'm just telling you about even my book that's launching. But it starts with changing. It's success starts with changing things that you don't even have to spend a dime on, right? What does that mean? It starts with changing your mindset, right? And then it starts with changing how you look at certain things. The two things that I want to talk about is changing your mindset and then changing your perception of how you see things. Okay. So let's get into this training today. We're talking about the 7 inevitable stages of pain before you succeed. As I told you, if more people understood what is required to reach the top, even fewer would start to climb. And here's the deal when I talk about the top could simply be you decide you want to make $85,000 a year, right? And you're going to take some at-home courses on YouTube for free. So here you are in a position to level up your life without spending a dime. But what I want you to understand is these 7 stages of pain, you're still going to have to journey through those. And it may not be back to back. You may not even see them in every different scenario. But what I want you to understand is, as a misfit or a black sheep, the total sum of different moves that you make in your life and your journey, you're going to collect these different stages. You're going to go through these different stages. Number 1, you will feel pain. That's number 1, right? Obviously, if you talk about 7 stages of pain, you're going to feel pain. You know, a lot of times when we're talking about success, we get so excited because it is exciting. It's invigorating, right? A lot of people walking around like zombies. They don't have any goals. They don't have any dreams. I see it every day. People just in and out, running in and out, right? Living for everybody except themselves. Even when you have kids, a lot of people are only living for their kids. But what you don't understand is, if you can't live for yourself first, you can't make anybody else happy, number 1. Number 2, you won't be around long if you don't do something for yourself. You know, I'm coming to you today. I'm excited. Let me tell you about bittersweet with success. I'm excited, yet I'm crushed. I'm hurt. Someone that was a really good friend of mine that I met along the way in 2018, a young man, right? I think he was like 44, 45, no older than 47, passed away. He passed away earlier this week. earlier this week. I just talked to him 2 weeks ago, right? I talked to him 2 weeks ago. I had went out and we were going to link up, but he was on the other side of town, and I just knew that he was going to stand me up. He was going to go home. And because he had already been out and he was at a bar eating and drinking, and I could tell he was ready to go home. So I was coming from another side of town. It was going to take me at least 30, 45 minutes to get to him. But he passed away. This is someone that I used to take road trips with. He knew about my business. We used to eat lunch on a regular basis. And it's just so sad because I know he had a lot of life ahead of him. But like I'm telling you guys as a misfit, sometimes we have to realize that we have to put ourselves first to make sure that we are healthy, to make sure that we are doing the best that we can do for ourselves. Family, I do not want to see you pouring into everybody else. This marks the third time that I've lost someone, because I don't want to say it's always been because they were loving the wrong people, but they were not loving themselves more. They did not put themselves first. And you got to understand that. And I know it's a life lesson for me. This is why I'm sharing it with you. So number one, for success, you're going to feel pain. You're going to feel pain. Every successful person travels a painful journey. Suffering is an integral and essential part of any real pursuit of success. Why? Because nothing about success comes easy. But every painful story has the potential to have a successful ending. Okay? This is why I want you to understand, when you change your perspective, your mindset about things, change the way you see it. It's just like if you said you wanted a flat stomach, right? Muhammad Ali said, don't stop. He said he did not stop doing push-ups until it started to hurt. He said he didn't start counting until it started to hurt. That lets you know, when they say no pain, no gain, that's absolutely correct, right? Even on a scientific level, okay? And so when you understand that no pain, no gain, when you understand that pain is a part of the journey, you will accept that suffering. You will accept it rather than resist it, right? Because when you resist it, you create more struggle. Okay? But what I want you to understand is, this is not some morbid outlook about pain. It's about understanding that it comes with the territory. And then when you change your perception on it, you will see each day as a blessing, new opportunities to be stronger, right? You will see it as it's a part of the process, right? And then here's another part about it. When you start to feel pain from different things, pain prompts you to make the adjustments that you need to make. Pain is the catalyst for change a lot of times. See, there's two ways that people change. They change through pain, or they change for pleasure to avoid pain, right? But most of the time, it's pain that happens before someone changes. Okay, so number one is pain. Number two, you're going to want to give up prematurely. Listen, you're going to want to throw in the towel. I can tell you that by personal experience. Many things that we start, we want to throw in the towel. Many of things that we've even started in the past, we've thrown in the towel, right? But what I want you to understand is, it's not over just because you lose one war, right? You may have lost one of the wars, one of the goals, one of your small steps. Maybe you missed the timeline, right? But as long as you don't give up, this is what I want you to understand. And here's the other piece. This is why I was saying earlier, When you recognize a spirit of competition with people in your group, get rid of them folks. Get them out of there. Why? Because they will put you on their own timeline of success. And when you don't make it, they start acting funny. They don't invite you to things only for their benefit. They want you around to lift them up. Because see, people know how valuable you are. They know how valuable you are. Even if you don't make the timeline of success, your presence, your energy alone is valuable in people's life. The thing is, they're hoping that you don't realize it. And so what they want to do is they want to put you in a certain little compartment of life and bring you around when it's convenient. But what I want you to understand is, family, you're not here for convenience because you're a misfit. Nothing has never been convenient for you. So don't accept someone trying to put you in a convenient piece or place in their life, period. Okay? So what I want you to know is don't give up. This is why I don't want you to get involved with people that want to compete and compare and put you on their timeline of success. Because guess what, family? We all have to learn different things and we all learn in different ways. Okay? But what you must understand is one person might get social media, right? They might completely crush it on social media. But then when it's time for email marketing or it could be customer experience or it could be trying to get the team together or raising capital or being consistent, right? Or understanding and getting the information, they may not be so good in it. They may not be so good at it. Right? So don't get caught up with trying to look, oh, they're good at this. Because here's the thing, a person can go up on one level, but guess what, guys? If that whole foundation is not strong, if the whole foundation is not strong, it's not going to stand. Here's the other thing I want you to understand before thinking about giving up, and then why you need to really get rid of folks that have the competitive spirit. First of all, you need to understand that everyone does not have the same mission. Okay? And what I want you to understand is when you connect to the mission that you were born to do, right? When you discover your destiny, that's the name of the talk show. That's the name, that's everything we represent. No matter what we're talking about, it's all tapped into your destiny. And when you discover your destiny, you will then understand that you don't have to, listen, God does not need to have a crowd to bless you, right? Because see, some people mentality, some people idea of success is being in front of a crowd of 50,000. Some people idea of success is having 1 million followers, right? Some people idea of success is to, you know, maybe just write a book and be able to reach people on an international level, right? So what I'm saying is understand before you give up. Don't think about your path itself. You have your own personalized timeline for success, right? And when you have those feelings of giving up, don't give up. You know what you can do? Take a small break. Take a small break. Listen, guys, I am a content creator. I'm a business and life coach. But some of the services that we provide are content creation as well as graphic design, okay? But content creation, sometimes you get writer's block. When I'm writing these books, see, I just told you about one book that I just completed, right? But guess what, guys? I'm already halfway through the next book. Guys, sometimes you got to push away. This is why they talk a lot about being able to have moments of silence and just be still. Moments of silence and being still. Why? Because this is when you get more enlightenment. This is when you get another boost of energy. And this is why it's good sometimes. Before you give up, that might just be a sign you need to take a mini break, right? Don't break too long. Just like when you're on your eating plan and you say, you know what, I cheated on this one day. Now I cheated on 2 days for the whole weekend. Guess what? That's fine. But don't break out too long, okay? Number 3, you're going to lose relationships. This one right here is super duper. This one is really hard because, again, as I was stating, how people will put you on their timeline of success, and if you don't make those criteria that they set for you, guess what? They're getting rid of you. They don't talk to you as much. They don't support your stuff. So you're going to lose relationships. And sometimes you need to, right? You don't need that fakeness around you. See, a lot of people have you around because they know the light, the inner light you carry. But what they'll continue to do is try to secretly compete with you and then dim your light to make themselves feel better, to make up for insecurities. You must understand this. I have met so many people. Now, I'm talking as a woman right now, right? Or from a woman's point of view. I have met so many women that are a part of these all women groups, and you meet women, they're married, they got a family, they got family support, but guess what? You'll come along as a misfit and they will try to dim your light. Okay? So what I want you to understand is you're going to lose relationships, and some of them you need to lose. I was talking about another training when your life is like a garden, right? Your life is like a garden. And guess what? Before you get those crops, before you get your harvest, sometimes you need to prune. What does prune mean? Cut back. You got to cut back on some people. And then if you don't cut them all the way out, cut back on the communication, right? Why? Because your energy is priceless and everybody don't deserve it. And it's going to be in your best interest to discern who deserves it. In my book that's coming up, the 33 degrees of misfit mastery, I talk about the 3 types of friendships, right? Because if you don't know who you have in your circle, right, you will end up like a Julius Caesar, backstabbed by your friend. Don't get me wrong, I know he was kind of a tyrant, but he still was backstabbed by the same people that applauded him. Okay? Number 4, people will discourage you. Listen, one thing about it, you must understand that people will discourage you. Why? Because hating people not happy, and happy people are not hating. Never forget that, family. When you online, when you're on YouTube, if you start your YouTube channel and you start your podcast and you happen to scroll down and look in the comment area and somebody tell you, oh, one of your page, I read your book, but page 5, the word is spelled wrong, or you left a comma out. Listen, guys, you're going to always have people that got some type of commentary about your life. They're going to always have something to say. Now, here's the deal. You have to be able to discern what you can use and what is completely garbage. But what you must understand is we are in a negative world. And majority of the people are going to be negative towards you. Number 1, just because you're a misfit. But number 2, who do you think you are trying to achieve above average? Right? This is the way it is. And when you hear the deal, guys, but when you know it up front, you can put your force field up. You can put your game face on. This is why we're going head first in this particular training. Because I feel like when you know what to expect in the beginning, you'll know how to prepare for it. So now when you understand that people will discourage you, guess what? The next thing you can know is hating people ain't happy and happy people ain't hating. Next up, if you're starting a YouTube channel, anything like that, outside of this, outside of discerning the information, guess what? A lot of people don't even read the comments. Why? Because it's not what they think of you, it's what you think of you. Remember that, family. Remember that. Furthermore, a lot of people are upset that you had the nerves and the gusto to even attempt to try something, right? Now, last but not least, don't get me wrong, guys. There's two things to that. Number one, some people are just speaking out of fear because they live a fear-based life. So, for an example, you might tell your parents, hey, I'm going to be moving 3 states over. And they're like, oh, goodness, times are bad and you shouldn't this and this and that, right? That's living a fear-based life. Don't get me wrong. They may have some good insight and some things you need to take heed to. But for the most part, you must understand that certain people can only think past their understanding. Okay. And last but not least about that, well, I guess that's gonna wrap that one. We already talked about how people are just programmed to be negative. Oh, what I was gonna say is, listen, guys, this is why it's important for you to join communities because we're in a negative world. And when you find a group of like-minded individuals that resonate with your story, right? It don't have to be exact, but they understand some of the pains you go through, right? This is why it's important for you to get in a like-minded community or get you a coach. Why? Because you may not have it available in your city, in your family, in your household, on your street, at your job. But guess what? When you know you were created for something more than just a mundane, regular, schmegular life, you need to get a source that you can plug into and get energized up. You must do that. Number 5, you will be hated for no reason. Oh my goodness. This one right here kind of had me shook for a while because I'm one of those people that want everybody to be happy. I want everything to be on the up and up. And when I sense energy down or somebody upset, I try to, make them happy. I don't want them to be upset, right? Then you meet these people just instantly, they don't like you, right? Because here it is. You are trying to do something positive in your life and, you want to go to the next level, right? It's not like you out here gang banging and stealing and being a porch pirate, right? Stealing people packages off their porch. You just want to level up your life and save your family from the life you never had, or start a family, or share your life journey to help someone. Guess what? People are going to hate you for no reason. And to be honest with you, it's really not no reason. To be honest with you, it's really because they see the inner light that you carry. And the main thing is, when people hate you for no reason, your inner light irritates their inner demons. I can tell you this so many times. I'm going to give you an example. When you're going, let's say, for instance, you said you wanted to level up your life through leadership in your career. I can guarantee you, if you are headed to a leadership position, you're going to have so much hate. You know why? Because people don't understand, where did you get your confidence from? Who do you think you are? Who told you to do that? Who told you you can do it? And the simple fact that you did it and didn't even look for their approval or their permission, it makes them upset. Not even upset, it makes them uncomfortable. This is why, as a misfit, this is where we harness our power. Since people never really cared for us anyway, you have to tap into the art of not giving a F. This really turns up your notch of confidence, right? You're human. You have feelings, but guess what? You have to turn up your notch of confidence. Why? Because your inner light as a misfit is going to irritate other people's demons, and they're going to be side-eyeing you and looking upside your head, all of those things. Guys, you walk right through and be unbothered. Be unbothered. When you see or when you pick up the energy that someone don't care for you, listen, be unbothered. You know why? Because people are always looking for a reaction. And when you show them you don't give a F about how they feel and you're going to do it anyway, they're going to stand off. They're going to stand off. right? They gonna stand down. And guess what? If they don't stand down, they might get even madder, but they ain't gonna be able to do nothing but respect it. Because see, some people want you to conform to where the category that they put you in. And when they see you can't be boxed, they get mad. They get upset. This is where jealousy comes in at. This is why you see many people, for an example, in the hip hop community, they go back to their environments and stuff and they end up getting killed because people are upset that you had the audacity to reach for more. Number 6, you will doubt yourself. You will doubt yourself. Listen, 9 times out of 10, when you start a new venture, you will go in and out of a feeling like, I don't know. You're going to be wishy-washy. And it's because you doubt yourself. Sometimes you may doubt your knowledge, your decisions, and you may just doubt your instincts, right? Doubt don't do anything but create internal conflict over what you need to do, right? But what you need to know is you have to continue to move forward, right? You doubt yourself because you don't want to make any wrong decisions, right? Have you met someone that don't do anything because they want everything to be perfect? I had a client like that. And I would give them so much information. I would give them so many tactics and strategies. I coached them for so long. And when I really sat back and observed, because the thing is, I want my clients to succeed. But it's a two-way street when you have clients, no matter what level it's on, no matter what you're doing. If you're a fitness coach, you may just be at your job coaching team members. You might be parenting your kids. But it takes two pieces. Number one, it takes for you to do your part, but it takes for them to do their part. And what I realized was my client wanted someone else to do the part that they had to do, right? You have to be willing to do your part. So what does that mean? When you doubt yourself, number one, whatever you're doubting yourself in, if you need more education, do it. But don't just stand there doubting yourself, finding every reason why it won't work. Okay? Even if you've tried before and you had that time where it didn't work out. I've had that so many times. Listen, guys, I've been in business for over 10 years. And when I tell you, I did not scale my business until at least 8 years into it. Prior to that, it was little sales here, little sales there, up and down, right? It wasn't until 8 years later I was able to go full-fledged with it. And guess what, guys? Even during that time, the parts that I didn't know when I scaled my business all the way to 6 figures, the part that I didn't know was the part that I had, is the part that caused me to lose 75% of my clients, right? So we're going to talk more about that. And did I feel bad? Of course. But I did not doubt myself. Why? Because I did the best. See, when you know you did your best on a project, I always tell my people, do your best and say F the rest. Do your best and forget the rest, right? Because you can't change how people feel about you or how they see, okay? You can only do the best for you first. And then if they are supposed to see you're valuable, they will see it, okay? They will see it. But what I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to make perfection become a place of procrastination, because there are New York Times bestsellers right now on the shelf with misspelled words. I can guarantee it. I've seen it. A New York bestseller Time book with misspelled words or typos. But guess what, guys? I'm not here to point out every mistake in the book. It is here to let you know that even with mistakes, you must charge forward. 7, last but not least, you will fail. You will fail. Yes. You know, taking risk is at the very heart of any quest for success. You must leap into the void of unknown and see what happens. Listen, one thing I want you to understand is when you're talking about success, I don't care how much you have planned, I don't care how much money you've saved up. This is what I was talking about when I was saying don't even worry about competing and comparing, because your life journey is only tailored to the things that you need to become to get to the level that you desire. Okay. And so some people's journey might be all about building relationships. Another person's journey for them to get to A to B might be about becoming more structured, more organized, right? Another person's journey might be about taking more action, right? But you have to understand that no matter what part of your journey you're on, when you're new at something, you are going to fail. When you're trying to be better at something, you are going to fail. But what you must understand is you have to fail forward. Don't fail and then fall back. Oh, it's never going to work. No, fail forward. Change your mindset to say, you know what? I discovered what not to do. When you have messed up relationship with friends, now you know it failed, but now I know what I don't want. Now I know what type of friends that I don't want to deal with. Now I know what type of employees I want to be around. See, all of the failed things that you've done, they are learning experiences. I'm talking about all those things you did with a good intention and it still didn't work out. Guess what? They are all learning experiences. So, for an example, guys, I had a team of people and they were just horrible. They were horrible, horrible, horrible. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter how I said it. They were horrible. But guess what, guys? Instead of me dwelling on it, and when I got my next team, instead of me becoming very strict and mean and rude, you know what it made me realize? Some people in life, they just don't like you, and you can't make them happy. And it was through that experience. Now I have a huge F it button, right? Mark Hansen wrote a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. And what you must understand is you have to get to that point where you don't give a F anymore, even when you fail. Why? Because you know it's a part of the process. As long as you don't give up. See, failure is a part of it, but it's the direction you fail in. See, imagine if Thomas Edison would have gave up after the 5th try. We would still be out here sitting in the dark, blowing candles out. But he said, I tried 10,000 times. It was only 10,000 times that I figured out what not to do. That's one hell of a perspective, if you ask me. Right? That's the same thing you have to think of when you're doing things. I've done it. I'm going to give you an example, guys. When I had events and only 3 people showed up, guess what, guys? I realized that 2 weeks is not enough time to advertise something. I remember another time when I was doing fashion pop-ups. And I thought, well, okay, so you already know people's attention span is short. So I said, well, I'm going to do a pop-up and I will only advertise it for 3 days. I said, because people forget so much. Guess what, guys? 3 people showed up. I realized that you have to do, I realized then that, okay, no matter what, you need to advertise longer, right? And so that's just an example. Here's another one that I learned. You can have the right product, but if you in front of the wrong people, it don't matter. It don't matter. Okay. So again, those were all learning experiences for me to be able to come and give you this information. The same thing for you. When you start off on your mission or whatever part of your mission you're on, from here on out, anything that goes wrong or doesn't work out like you planned it, guess what? It will work out for your good. And number two, you just learned what not to do and you can share with someone else. When I was telling you how I had a friend that just passed away, guess what, guys? Over the past 2 years, I promise you, I feel that God is telling me not only about falling in love with the wrong people, because that could definitely be a message. But the main thing is, be about your mission. Be about you first. Everybody else is second. That's kids included. Why? Because when you close your eyes at night, or when you close your eyes for the last time, you only going for yourself. It ain't gonna be nobody else. You gonna say goodnight alone. You gonna say goodnight alone. And I just want you to know that, okay? So don't forget, just know that when you fail forward. But in the end, friends and family, I want you to know that no matter what happens, when you move off of the mission and discover your destiny, in the end, no matter what happens during this journey, all of those different stages of pain that we just talked about, it's going to all be worth it. It's going to all be worth it. There's a Bible scripture that I continue to hold on to because I lost so many people since COVID-19 came in. And it wasn't due to COVID-19. It was just at that time frame reference. But what I want you to understand is there's a Bible scripture that says, my latter day will be greater than my former day. And that simply means that everything that I went through in the past does not even have a inkling of happiness, not even a fraction of the happiness that I will have in my future life. And this is why, friends and family, I want you to understand, plug into your purpose, discover your destiny so that you can get the fruits of your labor, so that you can understand that you being a misfit was all a part of the master plan for you to succeed and do the things that you're supposed to be doing while you're here on earth, okay? So listen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, family, if you heard anything that resonated with your spirit, with your soul, with your heart, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Join the family. Join this community of like-minded individuals from all over the world that really wants to harness their powers of being a misfit to change the world and make it a better place, okay? You're using your forces for good. And guess what? I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Until next time, keep on discovering. I'm signing off. Take care.